What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the Chelsea-Liverpool post-match reaction video. What do you think about the game? Do you think Liverpool are out of the title race? I certainly think so. Even if Liverpool win like 10 games in a row, something that we are capable of, but without Sadio Mane, without Mo Salah, without Naby Keita, it will be incredibly difficult. I just don't see Man City losing 2 or 3 games for the rest of the season, and Liverpool became another top 4 team again with like on average we are getting 76-point season results. The biggest problem for Liverpool is that 5 times this season Liverpool were leading and we didn't win the game. We threw it away against Brighton, against Brentford, against Chelsea, against Tottenham, and we even lost to West Ham United. And in isolation, a point away from Stamford Bridge is not the worst result in the world, but when it just comes a few days after you couldn't beat an absolutely depleted, injury-stricken, hamstrung, knackered, tired Leicester City side, and in fact you lose to them instead of beating them, and also you go to Tottenham and you are leading and you can't see the game out, and you go. This reminds me of Jurgen Klopp's first and second season, especially his first full season. Liverpool made the top 4 with like 75 points. His second full season, similar, 76 points. We made the top 4 again. This season looks like that. Brilliant going forward, but defensively absolutely chaotic. No structure, no organization. And I mean, when 35-year-old James Milner is starting in midfield, even though he had a pretty good game, but the fact that he's starting in such a big game against Chelsea, it says a lot about how thin Liverpool's squad is. Liverpool's first starting 11, when everyone is fit, is brilliant, but when you have to replace Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho, Thiago, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, the backup players are nowhere near good enough. And I said all summer that Liverpool need to sign more players in the summer transfer window. In fact, in the past 2 or 3 transfer windows, Liverpool didn't strengthen the squad enough. And it just shows that when you come up against a squad of Manchester City's, you fall short because your squad is not deep enough, it's not good enough. Even Chelsea, who spent another like 150 million on new players this summer, even their squad is not deep enough and not good enough compared to Manchester City. And the biggest weaknesses for Liverpool this season is that we lack the defensive organization and we lack the calmness and the ruthless defensive solidity. Won Liverpool the title and won Liverpool the title almost twice with the 97 and 99 point seasons. We should have already 2 Premier League titles, but Liverpool were built on defensive stabilities. We grinded out mundane 1-0 or 2-1 wins, and when we were leading, we shut up shop and we saw out the game. And that's what we didn't do against Tottenham, that's what we didn't do against Brentford, against Brighton, and today was another typical performance of that. We go 2-0 up with absolutely brilliant goals from Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, and we battered Chelsea. We could have scored 4 goals in the first half. We were that good. And then yes, Kovacic scores a wonder goal. That's brilliant. Hats off to Kovacic. It's a 1 in a million hit that Kovacic usually doesn't score. But then, of course, the Chelsea crowd gets riled up, they get fired up, and Liverpool, instead of calming the game down, seeing the game out to halftime with a 2-1 lead, regroup and then go again in the second half, we keep attacking, we keep being open at the back, and Pulisic ruthlessly punished that with a well-taken goal. And to be honest, Chelsea deserved a draw out of this. And in the second half, Chelsea even had more chances to maybe win it. In the end, Chelsea were actually closer to winning the game than Liverpool, which was very sad and very painful. Liverpool got a little bit more control after Naby Keita came on, but defensively and in the midfield, we were just too open. Wijnaldum was brilliant at this, that controlling game, controlling the tempo of the game. Thiago is a player that Liverpool don't have a substitute for. Every time that Thiago started in the Premier League, I believe Liverpool have won. But without Thiago, Liverpool have like a 38% win percentage, something like that. So we become an average team without Thiago. In terms of just the results, I mean. In terms of like winning only 40% of our games, which is frankly not even title winning form. It's much worse than that. And you just have to look at the past 11 or 10 game weeks. If you look at the form table in the past 10 games, Man City of course got 10 wins from 10. So 30 points. Liverpool have 20 points from 10 games, which is like on average, as I said, a 76-point season. And we were 1 point behind Man City, and then a few game weeks ago, and then Man City go on this mad winning run, something that Liverpool should be capable of doing in the second half of the season. But at this moment, we are just too open and too vulnerable at the back. Liverpool conceded 18 goals in 20 games. That's almost 1 goal conceded per game, which is not like a terrible record, because we also scored 52 goals, which is of course one of the best in the Premier League. And Liverpool just don't see out games anymore. We don't keep a lot of clean sheets, and when we have this madness at the back, a chaotic defending, that's how I can describe it. And I'm not sure why, because maybe we changed the personnel too much. Maybe without Wijnaldum and without Thiago, we just don't have enough control of games. Also, Virgil van Dijk coming back after a 7-month injury, he's not as good as he can be or as he used to be. But Liverpool really needed to see this game out. And before the Tottenham result, actually, Liverpool looked like they were flying. Honestly, we beat Newcastle, we beat Aston Villa. And since the Tottenham result, everything just unraveled. We just have 2 points from the last 3 game weeks. Man City have 9 from 3 games. That means that just in these last 3 game weeks, Man City got 7 more points than Liverpool. And and overall, Liverpool are 11 points behind Man City with the game in hand. So if we win our next game, it will be 8 points. If we beat Man City, it will be only 5 points. But that's also big ifs and buts and maybes, and that doesn't really matter in sport. I'm really gutted and really annoyed that Liverpool didn't see yet again another game out where we were leading. So it's super frustrating, and Jurgen Klopp now is in isolation with COVID, so I'm not sure if he can set the team up better defensively, but something needs to change. We need to get our injured players back. Of course, we have Matip, Alisson and Firmino out with COVID, and Salah, Mane and Naby Keita are going to the Africa Cup of Nations, so we will miss them badly. Thankfully, they only missed 2 Premier League games, but Liverpool have 6 games in January that Mane, Salah and Keita will miss. 2 Arsenal games in the League Cup. Of course, an FA Cup game against Shrewsbury, we should be able to win that. And we play Brentford and Crystal Palace. And those 2 games worry me, because without Salah and Mane, I'm not sure if Jota and Firmino can score enough goals to win those games. Let's hope they can do. But this has to be a wake-up call for the Liverpool owners, the Liverpool hierarchy, that Liverpool need to invest in their squad. Otherwise, we will be always nearly man in the Premier League. And Man City could have a monopoly on the Premier League, like Bayern Munich. Because remember, Man City would be 5 times Premier League winners in a row if it wasn't for Jurgen Klopp's incredible Liverpool side getting 99 points and winning the title 2 seasons ago. But otherwise, it has been like, this will be Man City's 4th Premier League title in 5 years. So it could be another like era of domination from Manchester City. And I don't want to see the Premier League becoming like the Serie A, where Juventus won all the titles, or the Bundesliga, where Bayern Munich won all the titles. But at the moment, nobody can compete with Manchester City financially and also on the football pitch, because they built an incredible squad. So let me know, where do you see the Premier League title is going? I think Chelsea and Liverpool are out of it, honestly. I just don't see both teams putting a winning run of 10 wins in a row together. That's what's needed. And also we need Manchester City to drop a lot of points. We need Chelsea to beat them, and we need the other teams to get points off Manchester City. Liverpool didn't get lucky in these last few game weeks, but we also weren't defensively solid enough. We just threw away too many points already, And it's very tough to take, because I think that this Liverpool squad had the potential to become another like 95 point season team, but our squad is not good enough. And with injuries and COVIDs and all kinds of changes all the time, with so many random things happening this season, Liverpool just aren't able to put their best team out on the pitch enough times. And also, even with our best team, sometimes we struggled to keep leads intact and win games, see out games. I mean, we were 2-0 up against Brighton, we drew that. We led against Brentford, Tottenham, Chelsea, we drew those games. And these are the crucial points. You just can't give them away when your opponent is the almost perfect Manchester City. They are not perfect, but they are as perfect as a football team can be. And I'm absolutely gutted about that. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.